All right, next one by Metaphysician. We read a couple of their works in Series 3. We have one in Series 1 that we read from them, which was 748. But Series 3, that's where most of their work is. The last one we read from them is in the Court of Alagala, which was 2264. That was one of the whole, like, portal to this, like, weird, like, ball festival thing with an emperor and king that, you know, are kind of like duking it out a little bit between each other, but like, yeah, it was like a very like fantastical one with like a lot of like side stories that we could have hopefully maybe one day have more about. But yeah, so Metaphysician wrote that one, and now they wrote Gorilla Beringei Necromantiae. So I assume beringei necromantiae is... I'm not sure if that's supposed to sound like Latin, if it's like some sort of fake Latin, or if it's like pig Latin type style. But I assume it has something to do with an undead gorilla. So here we go. Euclid Special Containment Procedures. SCP-2292 is to be kept within a medium animal containment cell. Large artificial containment enclosure at Sector 21-A of Biological Containment Site 66. The containment enclosure must resemble the mountain rainforest environment of Central Africa and include trees, a stream, temperature control, artificial wind, and audio broadcasts of realistic environmental sounds as per recent ethics committee guidelines. SCP-2292 does not require sustenance, but may be provided with fruit for cooperative behavior. That reminds me of the Planet of the Apes, where like when Caesar gets like put in the room with all the other apes, and it's supposed to like simulate wildlife because it has like the drawings and the fake tree and all that stuff. So I imagine it kind of like that. As SCP-2292 is immune to tranquilizers, tissue samples are to be retrieved during each weekly enclosure inspection and cleanup. SCP-2292 must never be in close proximity to within visual range of within 80 meters of a deceased animal. Is he a necromancer? Come, my child. Dash 2 are to be terminated via incineration and disposed of per hazardous waste protocol. So, Gorilla, it's your first time playing D&D. What kind of role do you want to play, huh? Oh, you want to be a wizard? Okay. With what kind of like class? Okay, a barbarian wizard. That's kind of cool. That's pretty. Wait, actually, it's barbarian. No, not barbarian. What is it called? There's like a specific race that's like that's, yeah, you know what I mean. But okay, I should say a human wizard. Okay. What kind of wizardry you want to go into? Necromancy. Oh, we're dabbling in the dark arts, are we now? SCP-2292 is an anomalous instance of a mountain gorilla. Gorilla beringei. So that's okay, gotcha. Beringei is I knew it. That was a Latin part, but okay. So necromantiae is probably Latin for necromancy, with the ability to reanimate animal remains and spread a fatal illness by touch. Or why do you have to have that part added to it? He was about to be fine. The exact causative agent for this has yet to be discovered. SCP-2292 is biologically alive despite its lack of a heart, which has been replaced by a tuberous root-like structure. This apparatus has been classified as -1 and is presently hypothesized to be the source of SCP-2292's anomalous nature. -1 radiates with an amber glow and pumps a similarly colored substance throughout SCP-2292's body, which appears to have replaced its blood. Not the dark arts, no. With a wizard, everyone's about to die. Yeah, you're right. Everybody's bound to die, and then they're like, more ammo. I wonder if... I'm pretty sure somebody must have. somebody in the D&D group must have played a necromancer and then killed their friend just to have another like body to reanimate. There must have been one session where somebody's like, yeah, I want to stab this guy's character and uses their corpse for for my power. They're like, wow. Organisms reanimated by SCP-2292 have been classified as -2. -2 instances are not returned to biological life, decay continuing at a natural rate, and will not cease animation unless rendered completely immobile, either through total destruction of the deconstruction and separation of the entire muscular/skeletal system. Direct study of SCP-2292's unusual biology, including its surrogate heart, has been rendered difficult due to its immunity to tranquilizers, natural strength, and anomalous capabilities. Okay, you can't tranquilize. How the hell did they even capture him? If you can't tranquilize him, did they just like, just threw a cage on top? Just like fly like a helicopter with a 2-ton cage and just dropped it on his ass? Like what? Previously employed methods of study, such as vivisection, are no longer considered appropriate as per current ethics committee guidelines. Maintaining the cooperation of SCP-2292 is presently considered more important, as further physical analysis could potentially result in its neutralization. I don't know how the hell they moved this boy. Yeah, right? Like, did they like just lure it in? Like, hey, we got some dead bodies in this room, and the gorilla's like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, he just sounds like Donkey Kong. Okay. SCP-2292's behavior is within the expected range for a male of his species, save for certain deviations presently attributed to chronic isolation. Due to its non-human psychology, it has proven difficult to properly measure SCP-2292's level of cognition, but has displayed a cunning intellect, with SCP-2292 breaching containment on numerous occasions. It remains unknown whether SCP-2292's intelligence is an aspect of its anomaly, a side effect of its increased lifespan, or something else entirely. Sounds like it could be like both. By the way, like, wasn't it weird how like we had so many like Nintendo shows as a kid? Like we had like the Mario Brothers, we had the Legend of Zelda cartoon, we had the Donkey Kong cartoon, and for some reason, they just really loved giving every single one of them a voice. The Mario Brothers like cartoon, the voice like was fun. That was fine, but like Link's voice was obnoxious, and Donkey Kong's voice, I only listened to it in German back as a child. I don't know how he sounds. I don't fully recall how he sounds in English, but it was just like wild how like every single like Nintendo property that got a cartoon, they just decided like, yeah, we have to give them a voice. Which of course makes sense. You can't have a cartoon with a main character that doesn't speak. Like, it's understandable that they had to give them a voice, but at the same time, it's just wild. It is just wild to think about. Like, yeah, DK talked, and now I say like, oh, you have to give them a voice, but that's not quite true. You have Tasmanian Devil, who had his own show, and he was the only character that didn't speak. He just did the sounds. So you could have made a Donkey Kong cartoon where Donkey doesn't speak, but everybody else was able to speak. I'm just saying. Okay. SCP-2292 was recovered during a 1966 raid on a London warehouse owned by subsidiaries of Marshall Collins. Don't shut motherfuckers again! SCP-2292 already secured within an acrylic glass containment unit. Documents retrieved from the site revealed that SCP-2292 had been discarded at the location after having exhausted its usefulness. Assholes. Of course, Marshall Collin Dog created a fucking gorilla that has necromancy. Because the whole point of Marshall Collin Dog is that they find ways to stay alive forever. Even if it's like fucked up. So it makes total sense that it's them again. The meaning of it remains unknown. The documents state that SB-2292 was initially captured during an 1898 expedition into an uninhabited region of the Congo Basin. A journal belonging to Harrison T. Winchester III was among the recovered documents. Winchester was an experienced explorer who in 1898 left his home in Bradford, England without explanation and never returned. His unexplained disappearance is the subject of frequent speculation. Hired by MCND to be part of a secret expedition into the Congo Basin, his journal details the capture of SB-2292 and includes descriptions of the potentially anomalous location, now classified as -3, where SB-2292 was initially discovered, and Congo Basin has a footnote that says then part of the Congo Free State under King Leopold II of Belgium. Ah, I see. That's what it was in that time. I'm gonna finish my tea because it's cold now, and I hate cold tea. Well, I don't hate it, but it just doesn't taste nice. Like, some tea flavors don't taste nice cold. Some others do. This one doesn't. There we go. So here we have the Harrison T. Winchester III journal excerpts. Shit, it's a whole other page. But it's fine, it's not that long. From the Journal of Harrison T. Winchester III, excerpts selected based on relevance to the Carter expedition of 1898 and SB-2292. The 14th of October, 1898. Having rendezvous at Matadi, we have since begun our search along the Congo's length for evidence of Mr. Dark's mysterious quarry. The Pelagius is an impressive steamer custom built. Pardon me for burping this much. Custom built to the specificities of Mr. Dark. A gentleman by the name of Mr. Carter is to oversee the expedition, acting as Mr. Dark's will. Accompanying the inscrutable Mr. Carter is his manservant, a taciturn and imposing Turk by the name of Burak. My companions include the brothers Jack and Ned Moon, two ruthless bushrangers from New South Wales who somehow escaped the noose. Mercenaries ranging from American scalp hunters to former Free State enforcers. There is Petrov, a Russian big game trapper who speaks not a lick of English, and Bledlin, a Welsh surgeon even more unintelligible than the Russian. Lucius Ambrose, an English occultist, possibly Golden Dawn, maybe Theosophic, who babbles aimlessly of Odic forces and dead gods. And finally, a handful of Congolese, laborers, interpreters, and guides. The 29th of October, 1898. Violence is the only language the savages understands. Through duress and intimidation, we have gleaned information pertinent to Mr. Dark's query. A Nasia Intotila, or Under Kingdom, a place where nothing ever truly dies. Superstitions of the primitive heathen's mind. I know not what Mr. Carter sees in their babbling, but it has him convinced that we must travel east by land. The 2nd of November, 1898. Disaster struck on the 1st of November when we were attacked by a bull elephant, maddened by some degenerative disease. Its body succumbing to decay, bone and sinew visible to the naked eye, while it remained very much alive. All but two of our Negroes. I'm glad I'm the one reading this. All but two of our Negroes were trampled to death, and the beast brutally gored 3 of our men before the Moon Brothers blew it up with a stick of dynamite. I swear by God that in utter defiance of nature, the charred and scattered carcass still moved along after death. Can you imagine if anybody else read this? It was like, and just came to that part. All but 2 of like the most like white person, like all but 2 of our black people were trampled. The 8th of November, 1898.
We have discovered a tribe of pygmies, untouched by the civilized influence of Christendom. They were subjugated with ease, and after making an example of the chief, the rest readily bent to our will. At the center of the village was a heathen altar, something Mr. Carter took a special interest in. It is crafted from an unusual stone, smooth as if shaped by a modern machine, and covered with strange markings inlaid with gold. No doubt evidence of the treasure that awaits us. The 16th of November, 1898. They have been out for like almost like they're about to be reaching a month time, I believe, right? No, they have now. Yeah, they have reached a month time. We have stumbled upon the ruins of an unknown civilization. The occultist believes that it must be a long-lost colony of Atlantis. While I cannot say that I agree with his assertion, it is clear to me that only those of the superior race could be responsible for its creation. Ned, one of the Moon Brothers, is a surprisingly talented artist despite his utter lack of education. I've allowed him to use of his journal to create a few etchings, evidence of the marvels we have seen this day. God damn, Ned, look at that art. Bitch, you drew this? Damn, boy. Why out there in the fucking Amazons? Why not, become an artist, man? Draw some shit. You did this with pencil only? God, dude. Watch what happens if you had actual paint. The 19th of November, 1898. The sun has been gone for days, the ruins leading us deep into the bowels of the earth. The land is swamp and marsh, which leads me to ask, how was the city built? Perhaps they built canals and dams as the Dutchmen do. Certainly such must have been within the technological grasp of this ancient race. The pygmies are gone, having fled in fear. We were able to shoot a few of the cowards, but in the end most escaped. Good riddance, I say. They were no longer necessary. Well, okay. If they're no longer necessary, just let them escape. Let them live. God damn. They are towering statues with faces erased by time. The walls are engraved with symbols, inlaid with gold, much like the pygmy altar. I've begun to jot down each unique glyph, more evidence to return to London. If I could gather an archaeological team, gain the support of the Crown, and return, claim this place as my own, then I shall be a very wealthy man, perhaps even deemed worthy of knighthood. I mustn't squander this opportunity. Fame and fortune awaits me. And here we have an etching of -3, apparently. Okay, the 20th of November, 1898. So he wants to come back with a whole army of people, which I assume it's not going to happen. Because maybe the gorilla's fuck yeah. Can you imagine if a gorilla just gave you the middle finger? You'd be like... The 20th of November, 1890. How do you explain this? Hey, Chief, I think the gorilla just flicked me off. No, you must have seen things. And even if he did, it must have been by accident. The gorilla's just there the whole time. The walls depict men and women, animals and monsters. Chimerical beasts with the heads of crocodiles, the tusks of elephants, and the bodies of hippopotami. The men of the walls are never shown with weapons, as if war itself had been eradicated under the rule. The artistry is beautiful and rivals that of the Greeks and Egyptians of old. Yes, Rampage, that's true. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Those depicted are of a disconcertingly dark complexion with negroid feet. Motherfucker. Servants, no doubt. Phrenology has scientifically proven that that could not have possibly been the architect of such a grand civilization. Oh, and why is that? Why is that, brother? Huh? What you trying to tell me? You trying to tell me black people can't build a beautiful fucking city? Huh? Is that what you're trying to say over here right now? Huh? You best be careful what you say to me now, huh? You best be careful. I'm gonna continue reading, and if I see one more, oh, I swear to Christ, if I see one more of your bullshit. Okay. This sprawling labyrinth goes on without sign of end. Mr. Carter's pallid face carries on an intense demeanor. The Turk is unreadable, but the other appears anxious. I see shadows move as if with purpose and design. I hear whispers when none are there to speak them. Perhaps it is this persistent lack of sunlight that plays tricks on my mind. Yes, that simply must be it. We are safe for now. Much has occurred since my last entry. Our troubles manifested shortly after our arrival at what could have only been the core of an ancient king. The throne itself was colossal in size and held aloft by 2 stone gorillas, reminiscent of the mythical Atlas as he carried the burden of the sky. Seated upon its throne was a mummified corpse adorned with golden jewelry, including a magnificent crown unlike any I had ever seen, and tattered fabrics as fine as silk and dyed in a sure shade of blue. Its skeletal hands still clutched an ornate staff, and I glanced at Mr. Carter smiling as he eyed the relic up and down. Was this what he came for? I suspect so, for he tore the staff from the mummy's grip without hesitation. I do believe I'm pretty sure Carter does have a staff with him in the other entries. I think I recall something like that. Maybe I'm wrong. And that is when we heard the howling. In retrospect, Mr. Carter appeared indifferent, as if this ordeal was quite expected. Animals, even men, crawled out from the shadows, all afflicted by a disease like that of the elephant. The rot. Dear God, the rot. They should have been dead. Bones protruded from their flesh like walking corpses. They crawled and crawled, utterly relentless, so damaged that I could not discern what most of them were. Almost like chimera, pierced together from various beasts. I fired my rifle, destroying the skull of a monkey. And yet, it moved. It still moved. We destroyed those we could, retreated and fortified ourselves, dynamiting the ruins to slow their advance. We still hear the scratching of bone and claw upon stone. The monstrous creatures made no other sound. The howling, no, the roaring did not come from the afflicted. It was close yet distant, as if observing us from some hidden perch. I had heard the sound before, during previous expeditions to the Dark Continent. It was the cry of a silverback. Yeah, the gorilla's like, "What the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing in my swamp?" The occultist is dead. The torn apart by the afflicted horde. Slowly, methodically, we move, as if for reasons I have yet been made aware of. The silverback has shown itself on several occasions, only to shrug off our attacks and again escape into the darkness. Still, we do not retreat. Are we luring the beast? I demand answers from Mr. Carter, but he dismissed me. Regardless, it was a glare of the Turk that stilled my tongue. The pages after the last entry are missing, evidently torn from the material with purpose. Probably had some information in it that was not meant to be shared around. And now, I assume, because Harrison never came back. Because that's what this part here says, that he went out on an expedition and never came back, right? So, located and properly containing -3 is the utmost importance despite several expeditions and advances in satellite imaging. -3 continues to elude rediscovery. Addendum 1. The Foundation attempt to teach SB2292 language via keyboard lexigrams has had unexpected results. A lexigram represents a word but is not necessarily indicative of the object referenced by the word, with each lexigram having a corresponding key. Non-anomalous great apes have been taught how to use and express themselves through such lexigrams, and it was hypothesized that the Foundation would have similar results with SB2292. 2292 destroyed the keyboard while being taught the symbol for flower. So within its enclosure, SB2292 was proceeded to use damp soil to create a symbol on the wall of its enclosure, which it then gestured to repeatedly.
Creating a new experiment, an electronic visual display was installed within the enclosure, visible but outside of SB2292's reach. SB2292 was then provided with various non-toxic paints, while an image was produced on the display, first focusing on flora and fauna native to SB2292's environment, before eventually moving to abstract concepts. When SB2292 created a corresponding symbol, a piece of sweet fruit would be delivered to a corresponding symbol, a piece of sweet fruit would be delivered to SB2292's enclosure. By 1976, after approximately 5 years of study, it was concluded that SB2292 not only understood language, but it had in some manner been trained for symbolic understanding and communication prior to its containment, effectively teaching researchers its own language, or rather the language of whoever previously trained SB2292. Reminds me of Godzilla, how he learned sign language. During this time, SB2292, referred to as Inaki by its handlers as part of the behavioral analysis program, has shown a fondness for crafting primitive stone tools, including a functioning spear, painting glyphs, and watching the television series Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Bob Ross' The Troy of Painting. This gorilla has good taste. That's some good, especially Bob Ross. That's good. Good taste, gorilla. That's nice. Afro off to you. Afro off to you. SB2292 communicates via a specialized keyboard, which in turn produces an artificial voice. SB2292 is to be communicated with through the use of sign language and spoken English. Hey! Just like Godzilla. I mean, King Kong. Preferably both in unison. A playful tone of voice has been shown to have a calming effect on SB2292. And here we have an interview. This one is the 2nd, 11th, 84. Interviewed SB2292 Inaki. Interviewer Dr. Sarah Hayashi. Forward, routine conversation with SB2292. Oh, this is a beautiful song. I believe it's the first ending credits song from Naruto Shippuden. Shooting Star. It's so it's probably because there's the harmonies and the rhythm is very more like the instrumental part is very similar to late 90s R&B. There's the hip hop jazz feel to it. And I think that's why it's such a beautiful song to me, because it's just relaxing to me to hear especially the hi-hat the that part is very calming to me. Sorry. Let's go back to this. Inaki, how do you feel today? Hungry. But you just ate. Shakes his head. Diet. Hungry. Frown. Bad. Cry. Frown. Sad. A combination used by SB2292 to express a feeling of sadness, feeling similar to an empty stomach mixed with fatigue. I am sorry, Inaki. Why do you feel sad? Lowers head does not speak. Inaki is not alone. Inaki is loved by Sarah. Inaki is loved by Joseph and Alex and Audrey. The bad ones are gone. No more hurt. Inaki love Sarah. Inaki sleep see old home. It is currently believed that sleep see refers to dreams, dreaming. Sleep see. That makes okay. And or memories in general. Gut hole, bad trouble think. Cut sharp noise cry. Deep stone long dark. Love blue flower. SB2292's previous use of blue flower suggests that it does not refer to an actual flower, but instead denotes an individual and may even represent a personal pronoun. Blue flower is whole. No more being. Sarah will be whole. Inaki will still be. No more being. No more hurt. Inaki, Sarah's not leaving you. Sarah will frown, sad, sharp noise, cry, appears distressed. Okay, I think I know what Inaki is trying to say. He's trying to say like he knows that Sarah will eventually die, and he will keep on living. No worry, no fear. Inaki is safe. Sarah is safe. Understand? Nods slowly, body language continues to suggest melancholy. Alex said you made new tools. Will you show Sarah? Nods excitedly, leaving the interview area. Oh, I feel bad. I feel bad for Inaki. Inaki is now like surrounded by people that he likes, but he is aware that like eventually Sarah will die of old age or something else, and Inaki will then continue to live on. Closing statement. SCP-2292 is not only aware of death, but its own apparent immortality. Based on its pre-existing knowledge of symbolic language, it is possible that Blue Flower may have been the one responsible for teaching SCP-2292 in the first place, and potentially the one responsible for its anomalous nature. I suspect the answers lie within -3. And then we have another interview on the 3rd, 1st, 84, back with Inaki and Sarah, and attempt to glean more information about Blue Flower and -3. Inaki, tell Sarah about old times. About Blue Flower. Blue Flower. Friend. Love Blue Flower. Whole. Not here. Not here. Tell Sarah more. Sarah wants to know about Blue Flower. SCP-2292 places hand over -1. Blue Flower. Made. SCP-2292 had recently learned the sign corresponding to made, make, and was able to reproduce a corresponding symbol. Then added to the lexigram. SCP-2292 has used the symbol to express concepts of creation and alteration. Blue Flower, good. To Inaki. Cry. Frown. Sad. Blue Flower is whole. Want see. Want near. Inaki, what was Blue Flower doing when you last saw them? Not move. Whole. Made move. Not Blue Flower. Move. But not Blue Flower. Sad cry. Frown. Whole. Sad frown. Okay, I think he's trying to say that like he got Blue Flower to be reanimated, but because the undead, they seem to, he's realizing he's not acting like Blue Flower, like, because like probably like a probably like mindless zombie. So he got sad because he was body-wise it's Blue Flower, but mind-wise it isn't. Did Inaki live with Blue Flower? Inaki special. Inaki first. Inaki one Inaki. Now a footnote. SCP-2292 understands the difference between first and the numeral 1, but has been unable to express last. It is speculated that SCP-2292 is expressing that it is the first and last of its kind, whatever the kind might be. Blue Flower, love, warm, made whole, made heart, no hurt, miss, frown, tired, hungry, no, do not want. I'm sorry, Inaki, you must miss him. SCP-2292 nods. Where did Inaki live? Does Inaki remember home? Green, trees, water move, stones on stones, large, Inaki small, songs, feather song, man song, Blue Flower smile, greet, many people, faces, cheer, smile, wave, Inaki special, love Inaki, move, love smile. What happened to home? Blue Flower not move, home not move, home stop,
home, stop. All stop. Not Inaki. Inaki, never stop. So the statement, based on my interpretation of what they communicate, I believe that SB-2292 is the last of its civilization, or rather a tame animal that outlived those who first tamed it. I suspect that trained gorillas were common to the Dash-free civilization. I presently hypothesize that SB-2292 was raised for the purpose of being enormously augmented, but to understand SB-2292, it is necessary that we understand the context of its creation. For that, the Foundation must find -3. Oh man, we went from a Amazonian adventure to just a gorilla that's just sad because they are aware of everybody else's mortality and their immortality, and that they're aware that they will keep on living while everything else around them will pass on. Inaki is good. Inaki deserves love. Inaki, sadly immortal, and will live longer. It's a tragic story of a gorilla missing their home and friends, but sadly can't stop time. But sadly, time goes on, and mortality is a thing for a majority of us. There we go. Yes, indeed, sadness. Yeah, right. Man, we need some upbeat SCPs. Even the fun box is technically very depressive if you think about it. So we need something that lifts us up again. We need something that just gives us the energy, the fun. we had one that's like messed up SCP so far. Come on, give us something else. Come on, throw something else.